Introducing to you first on my right, he is fighting out of the blue corner. Entering the ring wearing black trunks, he hails from Swansea, Wales. His weight, 13 stone, 6 pounds. His record, 13 wins, 1 defeat, with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Enzo Maccarinelli. His opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, this 12-round vacant championship bout. He is wearing green trunks with black trim, hailing from Hackney, London. He weighed in at 13 stone, 6 1/4 pounds, with a record of 25 wins and 6 losses. He has 18 wins coming by way of knockout, and he is the WBU Intercontinental Champion. Introducing Bruce Lionheart Scott. And once again, our referee in charge is Mickey Van, now to give instructions. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for this vacant title bout.
We both had your instructions in the dressing room. Remember what I told you. I want no notice with the head. Shake hands, batting corners. Good luck.
Mickey Van from Leeds, the referee. He's got his autobiography out at the moment called Give Me a Ring. Enzo Maccarinelli, and there he is, Bruce Scott. Originally from Jamaica, now out of Hackney. Back after 2 years away. Lost to Johnny Nelson in a WBO title fight. Lost to Juan Carlos Gomez in a WBC title fight. Fighting for the WBU title tonight. Scott in the green trunks. Big reach advantage for Maccarinelli, who's finished off 9 opponents inside 3 rounds in his brief pro career so far. That in a 14-fight ledger. He was beaten once by Lee Swaby in his 4th fight. Stopped in 3. That would be a worry, but he says that was just inexperience at the time.
Yes, and he was pretty young then, just 22 now, so there's plenty of time for Maccarinelli.
Will he know enough to cope with the tough, cagey Bruce Scott? Maccarinelli won in 1 round last time out in Portsmouth and looked pretty electric doing it. But he's caught by a left hand and put down. Welcome to the big league. Scott has got Maccarinelli all over the place, and I'm not sure he'll be able to come back from that. He's dizzy, and his legs look like spaghetti.
Yep, it's going to be very difficult from that.
And Scott is experienced enough, probably not to let him off the hook. That was always the question, would he know enough at this higher level? It's a nightmare start for Maccarinelli, and he needs to hold on, buy time, do anything, keep Scott away from him. What a dramatic start. He's got it with a right hand. Defence not tight enough from Maccarinelli. Is he in too deep?
Well, so far it looks like it's Scott loading up, trying to get another one of those left hooks on.
He was so looking forward to tonight, but the reality is totally different for Enzo Maccarinelli already. And we're only in round 1. He has to get going. Maybe there's a bit of stage fright in there as well. There's some blood coming from somewhere too. And he catches Scott with a good left hand.
Couple of nice soft jabs from Maccarinelli.
Maccarinelli can hit 2 though. Scott will have to be careful of that. It's a question at the moment of whether Maccarinelli can get through the first round. Has his head cleared? Great atmosphere here. And this is a decent comeback. Blood from the nose of Maccarinelli. And it's already smeared all over his face from his gloves where he's been wiping it. Oh, his defence looks leaky though, Glenn.
Very bad. The head goes up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When these big hooks come across from Scott, the chin goes up in the air and the hands come down.
And it looks only a matter of time before Scott catches him with another one if he's going to defend like that. Unless, of course, he can find a crackerjack of his own.
Well, he's got this good stiff jab. He's got to try and keep Scott back with that.
Well, he got through the first 3 minutes. I didn't think he was going to, Enzo Maccarinelli. Tony Fossey in the corner with Charlie Pearson. And somewhere in the background there is his brother, Vito Maccarinelli. Valentino's his real name. He used to fight as a pro 20 years ago as Vito. Out of picture at the moment.
Well, a disastrous start from Maccarinelli. There's the left hook, just really lurches in with it and catches him on the chin and into the ropes he goes. Just caught him really around the ear, but it really pushed his equilibrium all over the place. The legs were really unsteady right through that count.
There was a long way to go in the round, wasn't there, at that point as well?
Well, he did quite well. He managed to keep his head and get himself back again, and a couple of good jabs got him back into the fight.
Maccarinelli in the black trunks from Swansea, who said beating Bruce Scott would mean more to me than winning a £10 million lottery tonight. It might be as hard as winning a £10 million lottery as well, the way it started for him.
Well, he's just got to warm up and get into this fight somehow.
No ring rust from Bruce Scott, who will have done loads and loads of work in the gym as ever. Made me laugh at the weigh-in yesterday. He stripped naked, got on the scales, he was 2 pounds inside. He was either showing off or he's got the heaviest pair of shorts known to boxing.
Maccarinelli with that height and reach could dominate from long range, but he's got to tighten up his defense.
He's got a big right hand, Maccarinelli, and that's better defensive work from him. I'm sure the corner will have told him about the need to tighten up his act. It's a big step up from the kind of opponents he's been fighting, with all due respect to the Paul Bonsons and Tony Booths of this world. Good, durable old operators though they are.
There's that jab. That you can use that well just to keep Scott off balance, not let him load up for the big shots.
Well, if Maccarinelli does manage to win this tonight, it will have been some comeback. He's starting just to get his jab into play.
His left hook there from Maccarinelli rushing in. And that's maybe what he needs, try and put Scott on the back foot a little bit.
Maccarinelli, who sold 300 tickets on his own for tonight's show. He made the journey down the M4 from what is rival territory, it has to be said locally, Swansea. If you're a neutral, never go to a Cardiff City Swansea football match, by the way. Quite enjoying punching upwards, Bruce Scott. He's faced the problems many times before, of course. His best win, probably a 10th round stoppage of Darren Corbett when he first won the British and Commonwealth titles. Good that night, wasn't he?
He was good that night. That was good pressure from Scott. And you need that sort of pressure tonight to make this a really tough fight for Maccarinelli, who's just starting to get his jab working.
He's learning as he goes along, or you hope he is. Enzo Maccarinelli, who comes from Italian stock, his dad from the Italian Lakes area, Brescia I think it is, Mario, who runs an amateur gym at Bonnie Mayen. Now round 3, this for the WBU's Cruiserweight Championship at 13 stone 8 pound, the weight at which Glenn was a world champion more years ago than he cares to remember now. How many was it?
14, Ian, thanks.
Not that you're counting, of course. Green trunks, remember, Bruce Scott.
There's that left hook. That's what he's got to be wary of, Maccarinelli. Just lifts his chin up at times. He's got to keep that chin right pinned into behind his shoulder.
He's a refreshing character, though, Enzo Maccarinelli. I said, oh, the money will come in useful. He said, I'm not in this for the money, I'm in it for the glory. The money can look after itself. Which is nice to hear. Good right hand got in from him there, but he'll find it hard making a dent in Bruce Scott.
Well, the problem for Scott is he has been out of the ring for 2 years, and at 33, that's still a an awful long time.
Oh, great right hand! He's got him there, the leg's buckled. Now Maccarinelli turns it all around. 2 rounds after he was down, he unloaded a big right, and Scott did well to stay on his feet from that. And the left hook's a good one too. That's moved him, and Scott is in trouble. Now then, is this the night for Enzo Maccarinelli after all?
Well, that's better. That's showing a bit of fire, and that's good for Maccarinelli, really whipping those shots in.
And there he looks for another one. Now then, we have a dramatic and thrilling fight here, and no 2 ways about it.
Well, we thought these styles would gel well. Short, stocky, and the taller, rangy Maccarinelli.
He's showing us something here, though, isn't he, Enzo Maccarinelli, about his character.
Well, he said he wanted the glory. That tells you a bit anyhow. It tells you, he's just not after the money. He really means it. So he's obviously worked hard for this fight.
Seemed pretty confident going in. Why wouldn't he be, really, at the age of 22? Sure, he believes all things are possible. Well, they very definitely are for him tonight. But this is the kind of fight that could turn around again, isn't it?
It is. I think one shot can turn around. We know that Maccarinelli can be hurt by Scott.
Getting in with that right hand again. He's knocked something out of Scott with these punches. Solid jab too. There's been a couple of right hands, one particular boomer in this round. And he's finding the target with this now.
He's starting to open those shoulders up, and got a bit of weight behind those punches. Maccarinelli's got the leverage to do that.
Should give him massive confidence too, to know that his power transfers up to this level and has an effect. That was a big moment in the career of Enzo Maccarinelli, that. Different fight now, Glenn.
Yes, it is. All of a sudden he got his confidence back, probably his head really cleared now. Now trying to put a bit of power in his punches.
Rocky Marciano used to call his right the Susie Q. I don't know what Enzo Maccarinelli calls his, but it's a good shot.
It was a good shot. He really did get some leverage into that punch. Scott did well to hang on in there. His reactions were the right ones. Got his hands up, retreated backwards in a high guard. But Maccarinelli really tried to whip some heavy shots in there.
He always dreamt, he said, of being a big puncher ever since he was 5 years old, watching Mike Tyson win the world heavyweight title on telly. That ages us, doesn't it?
He's a bit.
Here's the 4th. Good fight, this one. Black trunks, Enzo Maccarinelli of Swansea. The area that's produced fighters like Colin Jones, Floyd Havard, Robert Dickey in recent years. But they could do with another shining light. Maybe this is the man, but only maybe. He's the kind of lad who would just give the division a bit of much-needed charisma, too, if he did come through tonight.
Yeah, the division is in need of some fresh faces. But he's still early in the fight.
Don't rule out Bruce Scott. He's been in fights all his life, a fight against grinding poverty in Jamaica, where they didn't even have enough money for butter on the bread or shoes on your feet. He's one of 11 kids. And he still sends £250 home every month to help his family. He's a great guy.
So Maccarinelli's starting to load up a bit. He's fancying his chances in there.
Good body shot, the right hand from Scott, who diligently carries on with his work. Both of these two prepared so well. They were 2 pounds inside the limit, and again the legs buckle as Maccarinelli unloads. Good stuff again from the Welsh youngster.
And that time it was a left hook that did the damage, and he's holding on for dear life through Scott.
Just could be a night too where the years and hard fights catch up with Scott a little bit, particularly after the long absence. Make no mistake. Frank Warren's team, who usually know what they're doing, put Maccarinelli into this fight because they thought he could win it.
Easy body shots from Scott.
Yep, he's still in there pitching. Maccarinelli will have to have maximum concentration right the way through. But he's come back brilliantly from a traumatic start.
Already he's proven a lot about his character, hasn't he? To come back from an almost disastrous first round to the point he is in the fight now, where he's looking strong and start putting in some good shots.
Oh, cracking left hand as Lane's got through the ropes, and I think that's the end of the fight. It is. Don't bother with the count. It's a coronation night for Enzo Maccarinelli, the big punching youngster from Swansea. And let's hope that Bruce Scott is okay. A bad knockout, a big, booming left hand. And I think that was literally lights out.
It really was. He's down, and let's hope he's okay. That was a terrific left hook he had to take there.
Jimmy Tibbs and Frank Black looking on with some concern, but Scott seems to be okay. Thank goodness for that. Well, not many people have done that kind of thing to Bruce Scott.
No, it was a terrific shot. He got back into the fight so well, Enzo Maccarinelli. And, you know, he got an added confidence over the last couple of rounds. Knew he could hurt Scott and was ready to stand and let the big shots go.
Well, what odds were there on a Maccarinelli win a minute into the fight when he was reeling all over the place?
Well, I don't think there'd been any odds whatsoever, would they? Because it didn't look like he was going to last that much longer himself.
Any odds you care to name.
That's right.
Well, what a night for him. This is the young man who says he's in this game for the glory. Well, he's certainly produced something glorious here. And the Welsh crowd here absolutely love it. Rightly, the doctors are giving Bruce Scott the once-over and making sure, absolutely certain, he doesn't try to get up without a long rest. But Maccarinelli, he should celebrate. That was a star performance.
It really was. He goes for the right hand. It misses, but the left hook is following it as it should. And that was a terrific punch, draping poor Bruce Scott over that bottom rope. There's the right hand just misses, but then the left hand right on the jaw. And a nice 1-2-3 combination, and that's how they've got to be thrown. He might miss with the first two, which he did, and then the third, a peach.
Well, reminiscent of Joe Louis, laid through the ropes by Rocky Marciano all those years ago, that picture.
Yeah, it certainly was. And painful for Bruce Scott, who's tried hard to get back into the game after 2 years out, but just too much. And that left hook was certainly good enough.
And how he celebrated afterwards. 22 years old. And all kinds of possibilities open up for him. He needs the money too. He's got 3 kids, you know.
He's got a
bit busy, isn't he?
He has. 22.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes 49 seconds. In round number 4, he's the winner by way of knockout. He is the new WBU Cruiserweight Champion, Enzo Maccarinelli.
Well done to Enzo Maccarinelli, and I just wonder if that might be the end of the line for Bruce Scott. Hard to come back from that.
It is very